So yeah, I'm a tattoo artist, sailor, wannabe model, engineer, metal worker. Yeah, I could keep going on and on. I just have and I just don't. I just think like life is so much to offer, and there's so many interesting, cool, wonderful things. And if you don't at least try them once, well then you're just losing out, aren't you? I'm sure you've noticed, like, when it comes to tattooing, I could go on and on. I could write books. Like, I've been doing it for a long time, and I know a lot. So, like, see, when it comes to tattooing, I am just, and just keep going. When I look at skin, I don't see like skin anymore. I literally just like just I can see textures and like how plump it is, or how thin it is, or how tough it is, or what would look best there. But yeah, I think the more that we get into it, I'll sort of, you know, not because it sounds lazy, suggest things as we go along. I get inspiration from what's happening rather than plucking something from the ether. I think it's just because with being a tattoo artist, I have so many people come to me with, a basic idea, and where my talent kind of is where I'll take that and, you know, exacerbate it and make it, 10 times more creative and really change it up. When it comes to doing Irezumi, like I'm just in this cosmic flow. There's time becomes irrelevant, and everything just happens, and I can't even stop myself almost. And because of all the sort of traditions that it is steeped in, it kind of has this feeling that I'm actually doing something worthwhile. I know it sounds like a cliche, but koi fish are probably one of the more natural sort of things that come to me. And I think it's because I'm, really attached to the water. Also, like elements as well, like water and wind and fire and earth. There are also things that I would really bring into my sort of artwork, and play with. And yeah, koi fish mainly, but I really enjoy honestly absolutely everything. Phoenix, dragon, shishi, frogs are really cool to do. Genuinely, I jump at the opportunity to do absolutely any of them. I don't know if you know, but I'm also the only Tabori artist in Northern Ireland. I'm not even too sure if there's a Tabori artist in Ireland either. So yeah, it's an interesting like world because you kind of feel really alone. And a lot of people can, feel that it's a barbaric way of tattooing. So they're not fully accepting of it, and it's quite hard to do and convince people to get done. But it's something that I only want to be tattooing that way, eventually. One of the main things that I had to do was the health and safety, the council. When I was registering, they had me sit an entirely different sort of exam. It's not an examination like a test, but they sort of like study you, watch you, ask you questions and stuff. And I had to do a whole total different one, and it lasted weeks and weeks and weeks. And they were so against me doing Tibori, but yeah, I fought for it and I did my best, and so yeah, I became the first registered Tabori artist in Northern Ireland. No, that's okay. So the tool that you would use to actually perform Tabori with is called Nomi, Nomi. So Yeah, and then there's Seiya as well, so it kind of like splits into two pieces. And yeah, I've made multiple versions over the last couple of years. So I got my first Nami about 6 years ago from a guy in Italy who hand makes the tools, and he sent me three over. I only bought two off him, and he sent me an extra one as a gift. I was so happy. And they're the most beautiful objects I have. So what I did was I studied how they were put together, and I ended up making a couple of my own. So I make all sorts of different Nami. Um, I've made just extra heads and stuff for the current tools that I have, and then I've made extra long ones and heavier ones, and ones that are sort of like slightly bent to help me get in there with a wee bit of better of an angle, get the flick. The most complicated part about the tool is the needles. You can't buy the needles anywhere in the world. Like, you have to make them, and you have to know how to set them, and they're extremely complicated. They're kind of like set out in three tiers, slightly knocked back from each other, and say the first tier would have 15, the one above it would be 16, and the one above it would be 17. So the needles kind of like slot between each other, but still stay on their tiers almost. I have a ridiculous amount of art supplies. I have no room for them. I have more art equipment than it's even sensible. I just get these notions where I'm like, oh, I need to be doing this like how the masters did it, to like learn it fully. And do you know, whenever you are using the likes of like bamboo brushes and all the different fox hair and goat hair, and when you've got those ink sticks that are made in Nara, like, and you're grinding your ink down, and there's a certain technique and everything to use on the paper, because the paper's so absorbent, it just instantly sucks up everything off your brush, so you have to be really flowy and quick. And but yeah, getting to use the bamboo brushes and the washi paper and this sort of ink sticks, and rubbing them down on the slate, and it's just the smells. It just really connects you closer to it, and I find that I can just be a bit more authentic and produce more authentic artwork when I have the right equipment. Like a finished piece of work, I feel that I need to make sure it's 100% authentic. So I just thought it was nice also to do like a proper, Japanese calligraphy painting. I sort of do more landscape and, like flowers and sort of animals and stuff like that. Also, you're gonna have to send me your postcode, so I can send you this Japanese calligraphy painting. It's done with, the calligraphy inks with bamboo brushes on washi paper and all. So no, just let me know and I'll send it across to you. Your inspiration is gift enough for me, and just the fact that you think my art is on the level that it is just absolutely phenomenal. Like, what it's like, thank you so much, honestly. Like, I can't stress that enough, because I don't, see it like the most amazing thing in the world. I just see it as like a wee sort of drawing almost that I just did almost. I don't know, but no, thank you very much. You're so kind. And the sort of Japanese calligraphy, it would be my specialty when it comes to doing art. Of course, I would do pencil work. I use Western watercolor on our watercolor paper as well. That would be another main one that I would do, or acrylics or oils, or the wood block I was telling you earlier or yesterday, sorry, about. Yeah, I like to get into everything, and I also, the equipment is what gets me excited as well. So I'll let you into a bit of a secret. So before like this lockdown started, I was actually getting into building tattoo machines for the last 10 years I've been designing and studying them, and I was literally just about to go into production there, and lockdown hit. Well, the series of lockdowns have hit. So in the tattoo industry, the tattooing machine is like the holy grail, and it's such a big deal to tattooers. It's also kind of a way to like leave your legacy behind. Because tattoos, like, they do live forever, but whenever those people go, they're gone, and tattoo machines kind of live on a wee bit longer, and they're kept in museums, and it's just kind of a way to leave a wee bit of a legacy, and for other people to, get enjoyment out of what you get enjoyment out of, and also showing people wee tips and tricks and stuff. And most tattoo machines that you would see these days, or most machines that artists would be using, unfortunately aren't that type of machine. That type of machine is what you call a coil, and it's sort of like the more traditional, older style tattoo machines. And they would have all been handmade and stuff, and all the good ones anyway. So I only have just started making the machines. So I've already made like 4, and this is my 5th one today. I'm only sort of going through the prototype stages with them all, and I'm just trying to find something that just runs like just immaculately well. And I also think that a coil machine just looks so much more beautiful than rotary. Like, rotaries are great, and they're beautiful, wonderful designs, and the engineering that goes into them is absolutely unbelievable. But I think there's something more romantic about something, older and more robust, and and also a rotary. The motor sort of dies out. The more you use it, you get about 10,000 hours from a rotary, whereas a coil machine, it'll keep going for generations and generations and generations. It'll never, lose its ability to perform like a rotary would.
And a Bangorian is someone who is born and bred and lived in Bangor their whole life.
The original name of Bangor is actually Benacor, which means Bay of the Horned Bull, and it's because Bangor is in kind of like this sort of like a big bay, like kind of, if you can imagine, like the way a bull's horns kind of go.
Look for the red lighthouse and the breakwater. What you're looking at is Cultraw just before. We're just around that wee headland.
So jealous you get to go on the ferry too, because it's a lovely journey. It's really nice coming out of Liverpool, and then you pass the Isle of Man quite close. It's really, really nice, and then you just come straight up Belfast Lough. Yeah, that'd be so cool. Yeah, no, I'm exactly the same. Just from a young age, seeing it and seeing people on TV, and the hair, the clothes, the style, the attitude. But yeah, Goth to the Nines and Edward Scissorhands and all the other cult classics. Yeah, Lost Boys. I could go on and on and on and on. I'm like an extremely active person as well. Like, I know I've been saying like it's hard to get motivated to do anything, but I'm usually like camping all the time and going kayaking and hiking up the mountains, and also that's me. I'm just back in from the day. I actually decided to take myself out to the forest and set up a wee tent and just sat in the forest all day, listening to music, had a bit of lunch, and just sort of planned everything out in my head, what's going to happen. Emotions, like, I attach myself to other people's emotions quite strongly, and I can almost feel them, so it's not nice when anyone that I know is going through a hard time. So it just, when people that I know that are in my life are happy, it just makes me so much more happier.
Hello, my dear. Yes, sorry I couldn't hear you over the phone there because it was really bad reception. I don't know why. I think it's just because I'm out in the middle of the ocean here. Yeah, it was a wee bit choppy this morning, but she sort of leveled herself out, and we're making good headway. We're just, oh, this is so good. I'm like, all I've been doing is shouting and screaming. I can't do anything else. I'm so happy. Sorry for all the laughing, but I am just so, like, oh, you've no idea how happy I am. I genuinely didn't think sailing made me this happy, but it does. It's so good. Like, it is strange, you know. I was very scared at the start, and I was really nervous, but and this is the roughest I've ever been. Like, honestly, oh, I'm telling you, it's so good. Like, I belong out here. I really do belong out here. This is, me and the ocean have this wee connection. Not that I empower the ocean or I can conquer the ocean. Me and the ocean are just really good friends. Like, I understand him and he understands me, or I understand her and she understands me. Like, honestly, oh, it's so good. I can't explain to you how happy I am. I didn't, honestly, I knew I loved sailing, but this is what was missing. Honestly, this is why I got depressed. It's because I couldn't get out sailing, and now I'm just
Look at that.
But yeah, Flicka was in a bit of disrepair, so I sorted her out and she was okay. She wasn't too bad. And yeah, I got home sweet enough. All good and hood. And it only cost me 25 quid, lol.
I just watched this pure G, like, come flying in, span his boat round on a 50p, and then reversed it all the way into his berth, with a wind pushing him off. What's blown my mind, what I just witnessed.
Don't use the word might happen, use the word will and is going to happen. Remember the law of attraction. It is a true thing, and even if you're like maybe, well then it maybe might, it maybe might not. But if you say yes it will happen. Whatever you ask for, you will receive. And if you put the work in as well, obviously that's a big help. You can't just sit there and watch it all, just expect it all to happen at all. You have to initiate it and start, literally chasing that. But, if you are doing everything to work towards that, well then it's going to happen.